If you've been following the Ravens as closely as we have, then you know this season has been nothing short of a roller coaster. And as we head into Week 18, all eyes are on Baltimore and the ripple effects this stretch could have not only on the team but on Lamar Jackson's future in the NFL. The situation has been intensifying all season, and now, with the final regular season games approaching, questions about contracts, injuries, and leadership are hitting the spotlight harder than ever. One of the biggest talking points has been the fact that Lamar Jackson currently doesn't have an agent, and for a quarterback of his caliber, that's a conversation in itself. Agents in the NFL don't just negotiate numbers, they act as buffers between players and teams, managing expectations, advising on injury issues, and helping navigate the often turbulent waters of contract negotiations. Without that layer, the responsibility falls entirely on the player to weigh offers, balance risks, and communicate with management, which can create tension and complicate discussions that might otherwise be smoother with a trusted intermediary. This year, Lamar has faced those challenges head-on, negotiating his own deals and handling complex discussions about his cap hit and the long-term strategy for the team. It hasn't been simple, and the process has been meticulous, stressful, and in many ways, unprecedented for someone handling it alone at such a high level. Yet, Lamar has demonstrated he can manage these conversations, weighing the team's position against his own priorities, and making decisions that reflect both his skill and understanding of the business side of football. There are those within the NFL who point out that top agents bring experience and insight that even star players might lack, particularly in high-stakes moments like negotiating around injuries or long-term commitments. Sometimes that advice involves pushing back against the player's instincts, which can be difficult when the quarterback feels confident in his own knowledge and judgment. The idea that an agent might occasionally side with the team to guide a player away from a misstep is a perspective that few fans hear directly, but it speaks to the layers of complexity behind the scenes that make managing a quarterback's career much more than what unfolds on the field. Off the field, this season has also raised questions about potential alternatives, with discussions around younger quarterbacks like Malik Willis, and even trade scenarios bringing another layer of intrigue. While Willis has shown flashes of brilliance, the comparison to Lamar Jackson highlights just how rare and unique Lamar is as a talent. Teams might consider future-proofing their roster by acquiring multiple first-round picks or a promising young quarterback, but there's no denying the impact Lamar has on the field, where his dynamic playmaking ability alters the entire game plan for opponents. Replacing that influence is a gamble, and while younger quarterbacks may eventually rise to the occasion, the immediate difference between Lamar Jackson and an emerging player is significant enough to shape the trajectory of the season and the decisions front offices are weighing as they approach contract talks and roster moves. At the same time, the off-season chatter is unavoidable, with speculation about possible trades drawing parallels to other sports and major transactions. Agents and executives alike are weighing the value Lamar brings against the potential return in draft capital or other players, but for Ravens fans, even entertaining such possibilities stirs a strong emotional response. The comparison to high-profile trades in the NBA, for example, underscores how trading a generational talent can reshape a franchise and its fan base almost overnight. Even quietly considering putting a player like Lamar on the market sends shockwaves through both the organization and supporters, highlighting the delicate balance teams must maintain between strategic planning and fan expectations. The narrative around Lamar this season reflects not just his on-field performance, but also the broader context of leadership, negotiation, and decision-making at the highest levels of professional sports. Meanwhile, Lamar's injury history has also been under the microscope, particularly his back injury late in the season. That raised questions about his availability for crucial matchups. Backup quarterback Tyler Huntley has stepped in admirably, showing growth and improved decision-making throughout the year. Yet the contrast between Huntley and Lamar remains clear. Huntley has become a more intelligent, composed quarterback, capable of executing the game plan and keeping the team competitive. But Lamar's unique skill set, athleticism, and leadership on the field create an impact that goes far beyond statistics or box scores. The Ravens coaching staff faces challenging decisions when balancing player health, competitive advantage, and long-term development. And John Harbaugh's public commentary highlights the careful consideration given to both quarterbacks. These conversations aren't just tactical, they speak to trust, confidence, and the weight of decision-making under the intense scrutiny of fans, media, and the broader NFL ecosystem. All of this feeds into the anticipation surrounding Week 18, where Baltimore's fate and Lamar's future are intertwined with every snap. The league has seen few quarterbacks like him, and his performance under pressure, combined with the organizational dynamics, creates a narrative that extends far beyond any single game. The interplay of contract, negotiations, injury management, and team performance adds layers to every story emerging from Baltimore, making it a focal point for analysis and speculation. Fans and analysts alike are dissecting the potential scenarios, from cap management to draft strategies, evaluating the choices facing both the team and the player. These discussions often highlight the complex relationships between players, agents, executives, and coaches, where every decision carries implications for performance, morale, and the team's future trajectory. Looking ahead, the discussions about Lamar Jackson are emblematic of the broader strategic thinking that defines the modern NFL. Teams are no longer evaluating players solely based on talent. They must consider financial implications, team chemistry, potential for development, and the player's ability to navigate challenges both on and off the field. Lamar's situation provides a window into these complexities, demonstrating how elite players not only influence game outcomes, but also shape organizational strategy and market dynamics. The balance between leveraging talent, managing expectations, and maintaining alignment between players and management is delicate, and how Baltimore approaches Lamar's contract, health, and future will set the tone for the team in the years to come. As we move deeper into the conversation about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, it becomes clear just how much this situation touches on every aspect of the franchise, from the front office to the locker room and even the fan base. The idea of potentially trading a player like Lamar sparks debates not just about football talent, but about identity and legacy. Lamar is more than a quarterback. He represents a style of play that defines Baltimore football. A player whose athleticism and vision create opportunities that go beyond X's and O's. Yet the business side of the NFL rarely allows sentiment to take precedence over strategy, and teams are forced to consider long-term implications, salary cap mechanics, and the potential to acquire assets that can reshape a roster. The trade discussions, while speculative, underline the pressure on both the player and the organization to navigate complex negotiations while keeping the team competitive. The comparisons to other sports and superstar trades are telling because they illustrate the delicate balance between talent and team dynamics, just as we've seen with high-profile trades in basketball, where franchise players were moved and the ripple effects were enormous. The idea of Lamar being moved even quietly would not only alter the Ravens' immediate outlook, but also set off a chain reaction across the league. Agents, executives, and front offices are all aware of the stakes. A quarterback like Lamar, who can command attention both on and off the field, requires careful management of expectations and communication. The role of an agent, or lack thereof, becomes more pronounced in this context. Negotiating a deal, managing injuries, and maintaining relationships with the coaching staff are all elements that shape the narrative and the outcome of such decisions. At the same time, the Ravens have demonstrated remarkable resilience in balancing these complexities while staying competitive on the field. Tyler Huntley's emergence as a competent backup quarterback has given Baltimore options, yet it also highlights the value Lamar brings when fully healthy. Huntley has shown growth in decision-making, field vision, and overall football IQ, but Lamar's presence changes the dynamics of every offensive scheme, every defensive assignment, and every game plan. The team must weigh immediate competitiveness against future planning, and that conversation inevitably leads back to cap management and contract structure. A quarterback like Lamar Jackson is unique, and while younger players may have potential, the immediate drop-off in playmaking and leadership cannot be understated. The ongoing dialogue about Lamar also intersects with injury management, which has been a recurring theme throughout his career. While he has missed some time due to injuries, the Ravens coaching staff, trainers, and medical team continue to navigate his playing time with precision. Balancing the need for Lamar on the field with the risk of aggravating injuries is a constant challenge. Week 18 serves as a critical test of his readiness, not only for the immediate games, but for what it signals to the organization about long-term planning, decisions around when to play him, when to sit him, and how to structure his off-season training will have lasting effects, both on team performance and Lamar's career trajectory. The coaching staff must also weigh Tyler Huntley's readiness and ability to step in, without disrupting team chemistry or offensive rhythm, which adds another layer to the strategy. Meanwhile, the conversation about young quarterback alternatives remains active, with names like Malik Willis coming up in discussions. Willis has shown glimpses of talent and potential, and while his ceiling could eventually rival Lamar's in certain aspects, the question becomes whether Baltimore is willing to take the gamble, transitioning from a proven elite quarterback to an untested, albeit promising, young player. Involves risk not just on the field but in terms of fan engagement, team morale, and organizational stability. The scenario of trading Lamar for draft picks or a younger quarterback may be appealing from a financial standpoint, yet the immediate loss in leadership, playmaking, and intangible impact is significant. Every decision of this nature requires a careful balance between calculated risk and maintaining a winning culture. And the Ravens have historically been deliberate in their approach to quarterback management. Adding further complexity is the off-season speculation, which inevitably attracts media attention and public debate. Rumors about potential destinations, contract negotiations, or restructuring proposals can create distractions, yet they are an inherent part of the NFL ecosystem. For Lamar, managing these narratives is as important as managing his performance on the field. Staying focused amid trade talk, injury reports, and comparisons to other quarterbacks requires mental toughness and a strong support system. His ability to handle these pressures will influence both his on-field success and the organization's approach to long-term planning. In many ways, Lamar's situation is a case study in how elite athletes must navigate not only competition, but also the multifaceted business realities of professional sports. John Harbaugh's comments and public posture also reflect the delicate management of both players and perception. Praising Tyler Huntley's development while maintaining confidence in Lamar Jackson underscores the coaching staff's approach to balancing readiness, performance, and team morale. The Ravens must ensure that both quarterbacks feel valued and prepared, which in turn preserves cohesion and focus in high-stakes situations. At the same time, it signals to fans and the league that Baltimore remains committed to competitive excellence, regardless of individual circumstances. Finally, the looming questions of contracts, trade possibilities, and injury management all converge to create a narrative that is both exciting and tense for Ravens fans. Every decision made in this period carries weight far beyond a single season, influencing the trajectory of the franchise and shaping how the team approaches talent development, roster building, and strategic planning for years to come. Week 18 represents not just a pivotal moment in the schedule but a juncture where leadership, skill, and business acumen intersect, and where the decisions made now could echo for seasons into the future. As the Ravens navigate this critical period, fans, analysts, and players alike are watching closely, fully aware that the outcomes will define not only the conclusion of this season, but also the direction of the franchise for years to come. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. ESPN confirms a stunning rumor that has sent shockwaves through the NFL. Matthew Judon could be returning to the Baltimore Ravens, potentially reclaiming his role as the undisputed leader of the team's defense. Sources close to the organization hint that talks are underway, and if this move comes to fruition, it could dramatically reshape the defensive landscape for the Ravens in the upcoming season. Judon, known for his relentless pass-rushing ability and sideline-to-sideline impact, made a name for himself in Baltimore before moving on to other teams. His leadership, both on and off the field, has been widely praised, and teammates have often described him as a game-changer in the locker room. And on the defensive front, the idea of him returning has ignited a frenzy among fans and analysts alike, who see this as a potential turning point for a Ravens defense that has shown flashes of brilliance but also inconsistency in recent campaigns. While nothing is officially confirmed beyond ESPN's insider report, speculation is mounting that the Ravens could be positioning Judon as the cornerstone of a revitalized defensive strategy. Sources suggest that team executives are eager to bring back a familiar face who not only understands the defensive schemes but also commands respect from both young players and seasoned veterans. The possibility of Judon returning is being framed as more than just a reunion. It's being discussed as a strategic masterstroke that could inspire a defensive renaissance in Baltimore. Analysts have started weighing the potential impact Judon's presence could elevate the pass rush, fortify run defense, and inject the kind of intensity that turns close games into decisive victories. His return could also signal a shift in how the Ravens plan to approach free agency and draft strategy, potentially creating ripple effects throughout the roster. For now, fans are left to imagine the excitement of seeing one of the team's most dynamic defensive players back in purple and black, leading with the same energy and ferocity that made him a standout. As the rumor spreads, social media is buzzing with reactions ranging from cautious optimism to outright jubilation. If true, Matthew Judon's return might not only restore Baltimore's defensive swagger, but also serve as a reminder of why he became one of the league's most feared defensive forces. The Ravens' locker room, and perhaps the entire NFL, could be in for a seismic shakeup, assuming this rumor evolves from speculation into reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.